Welcome to Undiscovered, the show that brings something new to you from right here in Sydney. I'm Mandy, and this episode we will be showcasing undiscovered theatrical talents. We'll get to know more about the Blue Mountains Musical Society and their upcoming musical West Side Story, and hear the Western word on the street about all things theatre. But before we delve deeper into this episode's discoveries, we have Jessica Brooker and Cristina Lanelli who will perform Falling Slowly from the musical drama Once. So without further ado, here are Jessica and Cristina.
I don't know you, but I want you all the more for that. Words fall through me and always fool me, and I can't react. And games that never amount to more than they're meant will play themselves out. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You've made it now. Falling slowly, eyes that know me, and I can't go back. Moods that take me and erase me, and I'm painted black. Oh, you have suffered enough in war with yourself. It's time that you won. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You had a choice. You've made it now. Falling slowly, sing your melody. I'll sing along. Oh.
Guys, that was incredible.
Thank
How
you.
did you first discover that you had this passion for singing?
Well, I mean, I grew up in a really musical family. It was always something that we really enjoyed doing together. So singing was just a really big part of my life, and I guess has been since. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me it was just growing up as a child. I can't remember a time where I wasn't singing around the house, where I wasn't doing music, and it's just always been something I wanted to pursue.
So have any of you ever taken part in musical theatre?
Well, I have actually. I played Jesus in the musical
wow.
Godspell, yeah. I went to an all-girls high school, so someone had to do it. And yeah, it was so much fun. I really love it.
Knowing that you have this musical theatre background, is there a specific stage play or a musical that sort of resonates with you, and is there a particular song within that musical that you find passionate or passionate about?
Definitely the musical Wicked. I find the story behind that just so beautiful, and definitely the song For Good, the duet, it just blows my mind. It's great.
And just expanding on that as well, do you think that musical theatre sort of helps the community as well as undiscovered local talent?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a musical for everyone, and especially younger people who want to get out and perform and find themselves. There's definitely a lot of outlets within musical theatre that allow them to do that.
Yeah. The question on everyone's mind, in 10 years down the track, are we still going to hear you guys singing?
Oh, definitely.
Yes. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much, guys. It was incredible having you on the show.
Thank you.
But now it's time to hear the Western word on the street.
What we do here is go back.
Thanks, Mandy. It's Giuseppe back at it again with the Black Vans. Today we are going to ask people at WSU about musicals and theatre and that sort of thing, so let's get this over and done with. So Nam, what would you say do you have a favourite musical?
I don't think I do. I don't really like musicals.
Is there anything that sort of turns you off musical?
I just find them really annoying.
Do you prefer musicals or plays?
Musicals. Theatre productions.
Musicals.
Probably theatre?
I prefer musicals.
And of the musicals that you've seen, which one would you say your favourite is?
Probably definitely has to be Jersey Boys.
Wicked and Jesus Christ Superstar.
Is there anything in those two, Jesus Christ Superstar or Wicked, that you were like, wow, that's really, really cool?
Just the production value, I think.
And of the theatre productions that you've seen, which one would you say your favourite is?
Well, out of the ones I've seen so far, I really enjoyed Othello.
I would choose My Fair Lady.
Now, moving to slightly more serious things, what do you think of the Europe's Schengen zone border problem happening at the moment?
I think Tony Abbott's all over it, mate. Yeah, he's definitely the man for the job.
That's all the interviews we have time for this week. I've always enjoyed Hairspray as a musical, because you can't stop an avalanche as it races down a hill. Back to you, Mandy.
Thanks for those interesting thoughts, Giuseppe. We're about to send you to the world of musical theatre. Let's take a look at the Blue Mountains Musical Society and the production they've been busy working on.
The story itself, it's a beautiful, tragic, romantic story. It was taken from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, set in America, in New York in the 1950s, and it's the struggle between the American race and the Puerto Ricans, and it's basically an American boy falling in love with a Puerto Rican girl, and sadly it ends tragically, just as it did for Romeo and Juliet. So I'm the producer for this production. I'm a committee member for BMMS. I'm there for the auditions, I'm there for the casting, I liaise with the theatre and booking the show in and taking care of the cast and the creative team, which are the directors and the choreographers. It's a really interesting role.
So I'm playing Arab. He's a jet, so one of the Americans who falls under Riff and Tony. He likes to do things without thinking about them first. He's very aggressive, but very passionate. And he's not a very nice character either, but I'm getting more attached to him.
Being quite new, yeah, I'm still learning the ropes and kind of getting the hang of things. But working with a great bunch of people, great cast who are awesome, and the creative team are incredible and give us plenty of good direction. So that's certainly helped things along.
For favourite musical, I sort of always have to go with Les Mis. It was the first proper West End musical I saw.
Look, you know what? I'd probably have to say it's this one. I'd probably have to say West Side Story, just because it's a classic. I mean, everyone knows the songs. I'm a big lover of jazz, so it's very jazzy. It's got the South American Latin influences. It's got the heavy swing songs, and yeah, everyone can kind of identify somewhat with it.
Community theatre allows everyone to participate and allows a great variety of skills to be shown, not just on the stage, but behind the stage as well. It's a platform to allow people to have fun and experience what it's like to be on the theatre stage.
It's truly astounding to see how much work goes into a musical before opening night. I know I'll definitely be more appreciative of the next theatre production than I see. That's nearly all we have time for in this episode of Undiscovered. And to take us out, we have the Uncovered Corner with Charlie Owen performing Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Mandy, and this has been Undiscovered.
Happiness hit her like a train on a track. Coming towards her, stuck still, no turning back. She hid around corners and she hid under beds. She killed herself from it. except everything you had and what was left after that too. Oh, happiness hit her like a bullet in the back. Struck from a great height by someone who should have known better than that. The dark days are over, the dark days are done. The horses are coming, so you better run. Run fast for your mother and fast for your father. Run for your children, for your sisters and your brothers. Leave all your love and your longing behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. The dark days are over, the dark days are done. Can you hear the horses? 'Cause here they come. So run fast for your mother and fast for your father. Run for your children, for your sisters and your brothers. Leave all your love and your longing behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. The dark days are over, the dark days are done. Can you hear the horses? 'Cause here they come. Here they come. The dark